Hi, my name's Perry Blake. I'm the founder of the 21 Up Movement, which is a youth intervention program designed to create opportunities and activities for today's youth and help them install a belief system that enables them to reach their full potential. And that's exactly what I plan to do, and that's exactly what I've been doing. And we've got 5 guys here. One couldn't make it today, which is Nolan. Shout out Nolan. Cheers. Nolan. But real talk, I tell you why, yeah? My main priority here is to allow today's youth to inspire their own generation, because when they're listening to guys like me, I come across old, I get called uncle, all of that. I'm getting used to it. It's one of them ones. But no, real talk, man. It's one of them ones when you're seeing today's youth here inspiring each other, because today's youth are struggling. There's a lot of mental health issues going on. So meeting guys like this year that are like up and running, starting their own companies, yeah, that's inspiring. So like the guys with me now, I took to a business networking breakfast with Essex Partnerships, and it was good because the first one I went to, I was on my own promoting the 21 Up movement. The second one I went to, I brought young people with me that were starting up their own companies, and they'd done their own pitch and smashed it. So let me get some introductions.
Alistair, I'm a co-founder for Attentive Management. I feel like myself for Attentive Management, it's a great thing that is going to benefit a lot of people and benefit us within, because we've all known each other for a long time. It will benefit every one of us, and that hopefully we can inspire other people as well to start their own thing.
So my name is Tanner. I'm one of the founders of Attentive Management. Pretty much, yeah, we believe everyone's got potential, just that everyone needs a push, you know what I mean? Like, to actually find their inner potential. Like, literally, I don't really know. I'm a bit nervous. It's my first podcast, obviously, as you could tell. Literally just strive to bring all types of people together. There's a lot of independent businesses that don't get a lot of recognition for their ideas, so we also strive to help them. Like, literally, easy if you'd like to go into some more.
My name is Osman. I'm a director for Attentive Management PLC. It's a private limited company. We're just a bunch of young entrepreneurs. We just want to do well in life. We're seeing a lot of people around us mess up to go down a really bad path, and we just hope to inspire the rest of our peers to just follow in the right footsteps. We're trying to set examples for our peers. We're trying to build generational wealth, trying to get out the so-called matrix, rat race, rat cycle, whatever you want to call it. We're trying to escape that, in a righteous way.
My name's Harry. I'm a representative of Attentive Management, and obviously we've come up as colleagues to friends, then from friends to business partners. We just it's a good thing because we want to set an example for other people our age to come and build their own companies. They don't need to get involved in nothing else. Just focus on yourself, build up your own companies, and make money independently or with friends.
I'm Jack. I'm one of 4 of the directors in Attentive Management, just helping young youths stay away from bad things like that, giving them better opportunities, helping them build their businesses, things like that. So
guys, man, tell me how old you are.
I'm 17. I'm 18.
17.
17.
I'm 16.
Young guys like you, yeah?
Yeah, young.
Yeah, rather 17-year-olds.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, man.
but show the other 17-year-olds how it's done, you know what I mean? That's why we're here today.
Jeez, hey, that's exactly what the 21 Up movement's about, man. Guys like this doing their thing. So I'm coming from. So what do you do? What do you do now? Like, are you in college? Like, are you in sixth form?
So me, myself, personally, college wasn't for me. Education is not for me. So I went to school and then I tried college out. It wasn't for me. So I started working a sales job, and this helped me meet more people. And the skills I learned from the sales job has actually taught me things to help me start up my own business as well.
Yeah, so I didn't really make it through the education system myself. I was kicked out. I went to a pupil referral unit. I never really saw I never really give myself enough what's the right word? Didn't give myself enough didn't big myself up enough, you know what I mean? Always
Didn't give myself enough credit.
Yeah, innit? I always thought I had no potential, stuff like that. I had no one ever like push me towards like making my trying to take them steps, you know what I mean? So I had to like show myself it can be done. Like, I was kicked out of school, kicked out of college. I started a sales and marketing job, taught me loads of like literal social skills that like how to communicate with people, how to actually deal with situations on the spot. Like loads of different beneficial things it's taught me. So, and then like we've come together, we've all started our own business. Pretty much mainly met at the workplace. I knew Alistair beforehand from young. I haven't really knew the others really. So if you like to someone else like to go into, I feel on the spot now, innit?
Now you're good, man. You're good. So I mean, it's one of them ones here, like talking naturally. Yeah, like everybody feels like they're under a bit of pressure now, innit? You know, but it's new. It's new for all of us. Like I'm new to starting the 21 Up movement. These guys are new to starting their company. We're all new to starting podcasts. So like, there's a lot of tension in the room right now, isn't it? Like, we're gonna be like, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Like, but it's good, man, to see young people putting themselves out there and just thinking, you know what? Like, yeah, man, like putting yourself in a position where you're uncomfortable. Yeah, that's powerful, because you can only grow when you take yourself out of your comfort zone. And that right there, yeah, is exactly what these guys are doing, taking themselves out of their comfort zone. So talk to me, Usman.
So personally, secondary school, it probably wasn't the best for me. I got permanently expelled from 2 different schools, and then the third one I went to is when towards the start of year 11. I was sent to, I'll name drop him actually, Haybridge Cooperative Academy, and I feel like the first school, obviously I got kicked out when I was in year 9. It wasn't, and then obviously the other school when I went to it, it's like 10, 15, 20 minutes down the road. So I feel like the teachers, maybe they knew each other, maybe they emailed each other. So when I went to the new school, I feel like that reputation followed even when I first joined. They just stuck their reputation on me from the first day. So then I was treated the same way I was treated before. So then it was harder for me for change. I feel I was young. Obviously, I'm not saying I was an angel. I was doing a lot of messed up things, but all the same, the reputation, obviously, it stayed. So I was getting in a lot more trouble. And then when I got kicked out of that school and I went to Haybridge Cooperative Academy, it was different. From the moment I went there, I feel like they was observing me to see what effort am I putting in, what am I doing. They didn't put no reputation on me. They was letting me set that for myself, so that when I went there and I set a good reputation, they matched it. If not, they doubled, tripled it. The amount of effort I was putting, they was making sure, putting one-to-one to me all the time whenever I needed it. And I come out with all my GCSEs, I come out with everything. I got an 8, 7, 6s. I was getting good grades, so I'm happy about that. And obviously right now I'm studying in college. I'm studying level 3 business, events management, finance, all of that basically. So yeah, obviously it's helping me a lot with what we're doing here as well. A lot of the key terms that we have to learn, just business principles and marketing, and just a lot of things that basic business needs that we need. And obviously I'll come back, share that to everyone, and then we just build from that. And obviously I met all these guys here apart from Perry. Well, actually no, I met Perry at work, but in a different way. I met him in a different way. He wasn't working, but I met the rest of the guys here, and Nolan as well, from work, and then we just come together. Yeah. I seen him while working there.
Actually, I was coming out of Chelmsford train station. This was just before the movement started, yeah, from the first video shoot. So I was coming at the train station, and then these times there, I had no young people, because obviously, remember I told you from the jump, like I had no one wanted to work with me. So then I had no council, no government funding, no resources, no organisation, no nothing, yeah. So literally all I had was passion and music. That was it. So I made choices. And then I must have seen Uzi, yeah, working outside Chelmsford train station, and he was with Grace and some other girl. And then the next thing you know, I'm chatting to him. So I'm thinking, I'm thinking I'm engaging with young people. I'm thinking, okay, so I was hearing him out, yeah, and I was like, cool. He's trying to sell me stuff, yeah. Trying to tell me, yeah, buy this, buy that, da-da-da-da-da. He's explaining knife crime, this, that. I'm like, okay, I'm taking him in. I'm like, all right, give me the pitch. Boom. Like, the way he come with it, so smooth, yeah. I'm like, you know what? I said, I like that. I said, I'm going to buy the magazine, innit? I thought, I'm going to buy the magazine. Yeah, I can tell you worked hard on that, yeah. And then once I bought the magazine, I said, yeah, I'm trying to do my thing with youth work as well. Like, so I showed him choices and whatnot, da-da-da-da. And then, like, he's like, yeah. It was like, one second. So, like, we've also got these other packages. I said, big man. I said,
Upsell.
I done.
Upsell.
Promoted the thing. I bought the magazine.
Salesman
Like,
tactics.
let's do it properly, yeah. Boom. I showed him the track. I said, listen. I need some youngers to come jump on this music video. What are you telling me? Can you make it happen? Boom. Within 2 weeks, we have 15, 20 guys jumping in the music video, and then boom, the rest is history. You know, like that.
Just started from there. Really.
Yeah, man, exactly that.
It's not work, isn't it? How you can literally just bump
Exactly that.
start at the front of a train station, and it leads up to this.
Exactly that.
Honestly, I've got to thank Perry as well.
We wouldn't be in this room if it wasn't for these two actually meeting each other on this.
Exactly, but if I didn't meet him, maybe I was talking to, if I spoke to another person instead of him, there's many people around. If I didn't speak to Perry Blake specifically, there would no chance we would be here today. We probably still would have started our business, but we wouldn't be with the opportunities that Perry's given us. He's brought us onto this podcast. He's taken to our first networking events, like places that we probably wouldn't even have heard of for a long time. And then he just took us through, just gave us the passion. He told everyone who's well introduced us. And a lot of other people that he's introduced us to, a lot of networks we made, even Jamie behind the camera that you can't see it, but even him, like a lot of amazing.
Shout out Jamie.
Shout out Jamie. a lot of amazing people that, so obviously we've got to show respect, we've got to show Perry Blake is an amazing man. He's got a lot of opportunities. And that's coming from the heart. That's not, he didn't push me against what made me say it. He said, you better say that on the podcast. You better say that. No, it's coming straight from the heart. And he knows that as well. Everyone here knows that.
Facts, I appreciate it, man, for real. But yeah, man, it's good. You know, no one's there. Like, I'm sure a lot of you have got stories about like young people like taking wrong paths in life. You know, so like to hear you all speaking so positively, about the paths you're taking in life. I see a video on Instagram earlier about one guy saying in your 20s get a good boss, and in your 30s start to work on different things that you're passionate about, and then in your 50s start to build. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the fact that yous have like understood that school wasn't for you, and then got a job. How long have you man been in your job?
I'll say I'll be around for about 8 months.
About 7 or 8 months.
I've been here for the longest of any of these guys. Credit to me, 1 year and 2 months, 1 year and 3 months actually.
I've been about 6 months, I think.
Yeah, around about that.
Yeah, about 6 months.
Well, I'd say about around 5-6 months, about the same time Jack going.
Yeah, 5-6 months.
So the way I see it, to be in a job for 5-6 months, say from 5 months to 1 year and 2 months, that's powerful, because that little bit of experience has encouraged you guys to think, you know what, we can do this, we can make this happen. That's the biggest jump.
Especially
thinking, you know what,
we're doing as well. Like,
Literally, like the thing.
no other 17-year-olds doing like what
Like, literally, like
Exactly.
big up all the other 17-year-olds sitting in your bedroom right now. Yeah, can I say something?
Be inspired.
Thing is, like, one of the main reasons that we actually started this, well, I feel like I wanted to come and start this because I realised if I'm sitting there, I'm employed for someone else. I'm just working for someone else's dreams. If I don't start doing my own thing, I'm not going to be able to build my own dream. And if you don't start working towards it, it's just going to stay a dream. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
you actually got to put the effort in to get the work out. So.
Jeez, the way I see it,
wasted
don't, what's it called? Like, don't be annoyed at the results that you did not get for the work that you did not put in. So like to see guys this young, to have this mentality, powerful. Because I'm an old man now. I was there like, if I had this mentality when I was you man's age, game changer. I'll be a multi-millionaire. Like, you know what? Shout out Uncle P. Like, no, seriously, man, for real. So like, whereabouts? What are your areas like?
So where I grew up, money's quite deprived and stuff like that. A lot of people do bad in pursuit of happy. Like Colchester, I don't know. Colchester, obviously, it's out in Essex. It doesn't get that much attention and stuff like that. Like a lot of people don't see what actually happens in like the streets and stuff like that. A lot of things actually happen, like affected me, especially when growing up. Like you just see, I don't know. It's just a bunch of different things. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's probably the same for all of us in the room. We all grew up in different areas mainly. Like it's just don't know, just not enough opportunities and stuff like that have been given.
As Tanner was saying, in Colchester, there's barely any opportunities, I feel like, for young people. That's why young people go out, do things that they might regret forever in life. Me, myself, like, I couldn't find a job for ages. There's not many people just doing wrong in Colchester. Obviously, there's worse places, but I'm saying, for me, myself, from my experience, should be more opportunities given to the youth in my area.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of, I don't know how to put it, like bad in pursuit of happy, you know what I mean? You're going out to do bad things, but to get like a good outcome, it's not gonna get you anywhere.
Facts.
I feel like Essex as a whole, I feel obviously it's a very spread out place, but there's too many. There's a lot of bad things that goes on that. So me personally, myself, I had a handful of mates stabbed, a handful of mates dead, and I'm not trying to end up like any of them have. Obviously, it's not their fault, but as you can see, all of us we've come. Obviously, we all work together. And we're not trying to become a statistic. We're trying to become a part of the 1% of the population that are wealthy, can buy what they want, can live stress free, without looking over your shoulder. We're all trying to do positive. Obviously, we've all done negatives, but they're all life experiences that can bring us together to build a big company.
As you may know, in Essex, one of the highest crimes, it's probably the highest out of all of the UK county lines, one of the highest things. A lot of youth get involved and stuff like that. Like, I don't know how to put it, but I don't know, they just see it as easy money, you know what I mean? Like, an easy way to get out, an easy way to escape. What are you going to do, though, when you really actually want to go and do something in your life? You want to go, say, put money down for a mortgage and that. You're going to walk in the bank with a bag of drugs, it's not going to get you anywhere. You need an income, you know what I mean? You actually need to build something for yourself.
And also, one thing about county lines, they drag you in, they groom you by saying it's easy money. There's nothing easy about it. The only easy thing about doing that is handing over the drugs and getting the money. The things that aren't easy are burying your friends. The things that aren't easy is the fear of being robbed. The things that aren't easy are the mental issues that come with it. The things that aren't easy are sleeping in some random, addict's house. None of that's easy. They say that it is, but none of it's easy. Well, It's not worth it. If you want to do something, become an entrepreneur. If you're thinking of selling drugs, don't. You could sell sweets in school. You could start car washing. There are so many other unique things that you can do that are legal that can bring you stress-free cash. It's not worth it.
So the way I see it, yeah, like a lot of the young people, yeah, like that I've spoke to in the past with regards to like why they make certain decisions, because I'm a strong believer on if you help a young person understand themselves and you help them understand how to channel their energy in a positive way, and you help them understand why they behave a certain type of way and why they have to deal with certain emotions, yeah, subconsciously you enable them to understand other people. And then when you allow them to understand other people, yeah, they consciously, taking into consideration those two statements, they can consciously make better decisions based on knowledge. Do you understand where I'm coming from? And it's powerful because a lot of these kids, when you ask them, oh, why do you do that? Why do you want to sell drugs? Oh, what do you want to be when you're older? They don't know. And then when you ask them, why do you want to be top shot? You know what they say? Because I want to have power. I want to have people working for me. I want to just be able to say, oh, go do this. And boom, man, people respect me. I said, so you want to be a CEO? Period. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Now, becoming a CEO will take you longer, and it will, like, a lot of these kids, yeah, they don't want to do the long game. You see what you man are doing? Well, I'm inspired by you guys, yeah, because your mentality, yeah, you could be in the trap. Anybody can pull a trigger. So therefore, anybody can be bad. Real talk. Anybody can take risks. Do you know where I'm coming from? So like the fact that you are putting that knowledge and that experience into something positive to inspire your peers, etc., it's inspiring, man.
At the end of the day, it doesn't take a bad man to stab someone. It takes a bad man to get out of the situation that they come from. Say they come from a money-deprived family. It takes a bad man to get out of that situation, buy his mum a house, do all these things, make a name for himself. Because at the end of the day, when you're in your grave, you're not going to tell who has had the most people, who's stabbed the most people, who's chased the most people. At the end of the day, the only reason you're going to remember that person is if they left a positive impact in the life that they're living. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
100, man. 100.
Going back to what you're saying about how they want the respect, the power, I think there's a big difference. Obviously what you're saying is I want to be top shot, get people to go do stuff for me. That's not respect, that's people having fear for you. There's a big difference, yeah. Respect is you walk past someone, they go, oh, that's so and so, yeah, I'll do whatever for him because he's nice to me, he does this. And then being a big top shotter, they go, oh yeah, I have to do that for him because otherwise I don't know what he might do to me and my family. There's a big difference between respect and fear. And if you want fear, by all means go and do that, but you're not going to be respected, because if there's fear, people are going to want to take you out to take your position. If you're I'm not going to swear, but if you're not very nice to people, do you know what I mean? And with respect, people aren't going to want to take you out. They're going to want to be working alongside you without the fear. There's a big difference between respect and fear.
100, man. Completely understand where you're coming from. So what about you? What's your background like?
I come from Essex. I grew up not very wealthy, not as wealthy as some of my friends maybe. Like my mum was a single parent struggling, but she'd always do everything to put a meal on our plates and stuff like that. Obviously, I left school, had to go find a job. Not like all my friends where they have dads that have their own businesses, or they could just go work for their dads, things like that. I had to go find a job. That's how I met these here, joined sales and marketing, just to help provide for my family, help provide for my mum a little bit, help provide for my family a little bit, help my brother and sister and my mum, and yes, man. And now I'm here.
Hey, man. I mean, how does it feel being here? Like, talk to me.
It feels amazing. It's a different experience. Like, I like experiencing new things. I like putting as you said before, like putting my places like I'm uncomfortable, like position I'm uncomfortable in, because it makes you stronger as a person.
100.
You probably tell, like, when I first started speaking, I was nervous, but I'm starting like feel more comfortable with it. You know what I mean? It feels good to be here right now, to actually get my thoughts across. Like, even just knowing that someone's listening. You know what I mean? It feels good.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? What made you start the 21 Up movement, if you don't mind?
What made me start the 21 Up movement? Yeah, I'm with you. I'll be real. I started it like when I met Uzi. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to me.
Shout out Uzi.
Been there from day one, innit?
Hey, real talk. It's one of them ones. The reason I started it, yeah, is because like my life up until 21 was a bit mad. You know, I was there like obviously like in and out of the foster care system when I was a youth, and then lost my little brothers to adoption. Like it sent me on a spiral path. You know, I was there like it sent me on a bit of a wild one. Yeah, so like I had a lot of aggression. I had a lot of pain that I hid with aggression. Like I got myself in a lot of trouble. I ended up in the system again, in prison. And then obviously when I come out of jail, I hit 21, and then a good friend of mine who was like, he knew all of my history. You know, I was there. Like he was the only friend that knew all of my history. Come stay at my foster care house. Like he knew my little brothers, all of this whatnot. But then when I hit 21, like he passed away, like he died. Yeah, and it burned. And his mum, I remember his mum said to me, I'll never forget. His mum said to me, like the day after, she said, for my Bob, like you got to behave yourself, you got to stop getting in trouble. Bearing in mind, I'd been out of jail like, what, two months maybe? Not even that, like 1 month maybe. You know, I was there like, no, 2 months. I'd been out of jail 2 months. And then she said that to me, yeah? And I'd already been arrested from being I got arrested 3 days after being out of jail. You know, I was there like, you know, like in your head when you've just lost all connection with the world and you're just like, I don't care anymore. Do you know where I'm coming from? You know when like you're burning about something that anything that happens to you, like it's
Say you lost yourself. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's a lost cause.
Like you said, like a lot of young people, especially when you're growing up, you don't know how to channel your emotions, don't know how to channel your anger and stuff like that. So they go out doing this bad in pursuit of happiness, stuff like that. You don't know from right from wrong, you know what I mean? So you're going out trying to do all these things, and then everyone looks at you like you're the bad guy, you know what I mean? Because they don't understand your story. They don't see where you're coming from. They haven't lived that life. They haven't grown up around that, you know what I mean?
Do you know what's crazy? When people, like, going back to the Tanner said, you get in trouble and then they ask you why, but in reality they don't want to know why. They just want an easy answer. And that's the truth.
It's like one of them ones, yeah, like when I was that age and I was going through all of them traumas, yeah, nobody really understood me. I was a very misunderstood teenager, and I was very, very annoyed at the fact that I was misunderstood. But because I didn't know how to channel my energy, I didn't know how to express my emotions. So the way I see it, yeah, when them days where I was hurting, I didn't want to show weakness because I didn't understand, yeah, that to show weakness and to show pain is a strength. Do you know where I'm coming from? 100%. And I didn't know how to do that. No one taught me how to do that. I grew up in a single parent family as well. Do you know where I'm coming from? I didn't have no man teaching me how to tie no tie, teaching me how to shave. None of that. Do you know where I'm coming from? I had to do that myself. So like the fact that I never had none of that, yeah, and then obviously up when my boy died when I was 21, everything changed. When my boy's mum said that to me, yeah, everything changed. What, a year later, I had my first son, named him after my boy Bobby. And then what, a year and a half after that, I had my second son. And then, yeah, man, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to be the best dad I can be. I was there like, and be the dad I never had. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
You never had, you know what I mean? You got to take the responsibility and stuff like that. It changes the way that you think, especially as well, when like something like that actually happens. It opens your eyes a bit. Like you've actually got responsibility, something to live for. If like literally something to live for. You know what I mean? 100.
Because it's one of them ones here. Like I was always passionate about being a youth worker because it's funny because I was on bail, yeah. I was on police bail. I had to, for 4 months. I was on tag. I had to answer police bail every single day. I had to go police station, and it was mad because like, I thought if I get a job, they'll cut me some slack. It's mad, yeah. Like, I was leaving my yard at 5 in the morning. So my tag time was 5 in the morning and my tag time was 12 at night. So like, whenever you ever heard of a tag time for like 5 hours, you know what I'm saying? There was no 12-hour thing. It was like 5 hours, yeah. But then in that period of time, like they said to me, if I became a youth worker, a volunteer youth worker, it would go better for me in court. So then I become a volunteer youth worker. And like, I was really good at it.
But like, obviously, like, didn't like a lot of so like, obviously with your story and stuff like that, did it ever affect you working with kids and stuff like that? Was you ever told now you're not allowed to do that and stuff like that because obviously the things that have happened?
It's I don't know, it's one of them ones, yeah, because the way I see it, because after all of that, and then after I stopped getting into trouble and getting into madnesses and whatnot, I had to start revising myself. I had to start studying myself, and then I started to understand myself, and then
person in the future.
Exactly that. So then the way I see it, yeah, I realised I was a victim to my circumstances. I wasn't a product of my environment. I was a victim to my circumstances. And I felt like, yeah, I was a bit of a product to the environment I grew up around. And it turned me into a very negative person. But it wasn't until I got a little bit older and studied the psychology of the mind, etc., studied emotions, studied emotional intelligence, all of that, yeah. It was when that happened that I started to realise I'm a product of my choices. Yeah. And then I said to one of my friends at work, I said, I hate being here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not what I'm passionate about. When you study enough motivational speakers, yeah, like, you become to think, you know what, if I'm ever going to be one of them, I need to have my own inspiring story. So I thought, boom. Yeah, exactly that. Instead of keep looking at these inspirational people, these multi-millionaires talking about their story, I'm thinking, I want my story. What's my story?
Like, when you look up to idols and stuff like that, like, a lot of people, what they do wrong, they'll look up, like, give me an example, say, Katy Perry. Yeah, Katy Perry. Like, you look at Katy Perry, look at her Instagram, you're seeing that she's doing all these things that you wish you could do, but in the time that you wished, I wish I could have done this and done that, she's probably done 10 more things that you wish that you could have done, you know what I mean? So you got to get up there, go get it yourself.
You know what, exactly what you were just saying there, yeah? The way I see it is there's two types of attention, yeah? There's like, what is it? There's getting attention and there's paying attention, yeah? If you're trying to get attention, yeah, you're not paying attention, because I could do one thing, yeah? And then after doing that one thing, I could be focusing on trying to get likes, trying to do this, trying to do that. Then if I'm trying to do that, I'm not focusing on paying attention to what I'm actually doing. When you focus on paying attention to your craft, yeah, and you take yourself out of your comfort zone, the rest just comes with it. If you chase your passions, yeah, the rest just comes with it. Like, everything else falls into place. And do you know how I know? Because I'm like a product of my choices and I've seen it all happen. The proof is in the pudding. Do you know where I'm coming from? Real talk. When you said just a minute ago, yeah, about was it a struggle? Bro, when I decided I wanted to be a youth worker, yeah, I changed my CV, boom, and next thing you know, I tried to become a youth worker. They said, look, I got the job. Yeah, 4 months I was waiting to get a DBS check. As soon as it come back, they said, ooh, they said, we can't give you the job. I said, why? They said, oh, you got violence on your record. Just like that, terminated. I was thinking, I nearly left my job. I nearly left my current job. You know, I was there, like, that's how gassed I was. Literally, yeah.
With them things there as well, it's also like a little setback, you know what I mean? That someone's told you like you can't go out and go do it. So like, it's like, oh no, so say like, oh no, I'm trying to give an example, but I can't really think. Like, say if like you go into school and stuff like that, you're getting put down by all your peers and stuff, getting told that you're never going to be able to do it, and then like you go out, you go try and do it, and then it actually happens. You think, oh, maybe they're all right, you know what I mean? Like, maybe what they're saying is true. Maybe I won't be able to become that person, but you got to literally prove to yourself.
Exactly.
Like, you're able.
I've seen this interview. I can't remember. I think it was Pitbull, the American guy. Basically, so he was saying is when a child's a toddler and they're taking the first steps, what's everyone that's around them doing? Everyone's congratulating, they're cheering them, you can do it, you can do it. Everyone's congratulating, cheering them on, and then the child does the first steps confidently, happily, laughing, smiling. But then say if we want to start our own business, what are peers going to say? What's people around us going to say? Nah, don't do it. It's risky. Just get a job. Just get a stable income. Get a job. Don't risk it. Don't do crypto, forex, whatever it is. Don't start a business. It's too risky. And then if that's the words that you're hearing, that's the affirmations that you're hearing. If you choose to take that in, it's going to become your reality. If you choose what affirmations, you choose what words stay in your head and what words go out the other ear. So all the negativity, if you take it in, you're just gonna become that. If you're the hardest on yourself, then you're putting yourself down 24/7 all the time, then it's just going to become your reality. But if you're telling yourself positive, like say for example, Tanner, right now, say if you was messing up or something, hypothetically, I would tell you, or any of us would tell you, anyone would tell you, Tanner, it's alright, just get back at it. But you're probably telling yourself in your head, Tanner, you're stupid, why the hell are you doing this? So talk to yourself like you talk to your best mate or someone else. You get what I mean? That goes for everyone. I feel like that's what it should be.
Yeah, 100%. I think many people don't realise their full potential that they have. Like, everyone in this room, they need to realise, like, I know they've realised now their full potential and what we can actually do. If you truly believe in yourself, you can really do anything. I didn't believe in myself before, and this right now it's fully changed because I know what I can do.
It's one of, go on.
It's also to do with the people that you hang around with, because you give off the energy you take in. Like if you're surrounded, if I'm telling my business plan to someone who doesn't know anything about business or doesn't care about business, and it's telling me, oh, it's not going to work out, you're going to get in debt, it's not going to do anything, you're going to lose money. I'm gonna start thinking that. It's like when it starts from so young as well. It starts from, well, for me, the people that I hang around with, it started from secondary school. I was some delinquent, let's say that. I was some delinquent in school. I was nicking change out of people's pockets when everyone was doing PE in the change rooms. Like,
your friends are your future at the end of the day. If you're chilling with a bunch of like people that just want to smoke weed, drink all night, stuff like that, do all these things, you're just going to be exactly like them. But if you're chilling with people that's got business mindsets that actually want to do well in life, you're actually going to go just as far as them, because it's like they're projecting their image onto you. Is that the right way to say it?
The people that you hang around with show what you're like as a person as well.
Literally, like, you can look at, say if you look at a group of, let's say, like homeless people and that, like, you look at like 3 of them and then there's one of them who looks alright, you automatically assume they're homeless, you know what I mean? But like, say if you look at a bunch of people in suits, like you see a bunch of people in suits, you're going to look at them like, alright, they're businessmen. If they're with one businessman in a suit, you're going to think, alright, they're all businessmen. But you see one homeless person and then a couple of people with them, you're going to think, like, I don't know if that's the right example to give it, but like,
it's like, I completely get where you're coming from. It's one of them ones, the way sometimes, which is good to look at it, yeah, is that you're only as good as the company you keep. Yeah, like if all of us in here, yeah, were all trapping, yeah, but I wasn't. I come from a good background, but you guys are just my friends. Yeah, when police look at us all now, you man are all known for selling drugs. Yeah, but then they're gonna be like, we don't know this, but
like a joint
we don't know this guy, but he's with you, man. So they're gonna associate you. Yeah,
by association.
So when I say you're only as good as the company you keep here, say for instance, there's 5 people in a room. Yeah, and 4 of them are millionaires. Yeah, what's gonna happen to the 5th person eventually?
Millionaire.
They're gonna become a millionaire. Okay, then. So say you got 5 people in the room. Yeah, 4 of them are lazy, don't want to work. I don't know, on universal credit, and they're just lazy. What's gonna happen to the 5th one who's got a job?
Their image gets projected onto them. They literally end up just like them.
He's gonna get lazy. He's gonna start taking in that energy, yeah, and he's gonna develop a lazy mindset. Because you're as good as if you're the smartest in the room, you're in the wrong room. You don't want to be the smartest in the room, because if you're the smartest in the room, what can you learn?
Nothing.
Do you know where I'm coming from? So like,
all the same. I will say, don't forget where you come from. Don't forget your roots.
Stay humble,
your mate. The mates that you was bringing up with you, the mates that have been there with you from day one. Don't forget about them. Don't just surround yourself with all these new people that's doing better and just forget about them. You've heard it 1,000 times. The people, they get some success, they see some money, then they just forget about their family, their friends, and then what happens to them? At the end, they're going to come crashing down anyway. And then they have no one, because then the people that was doing better than them, they're still up there, and then now you're down here again, and then the people that you left behind, what's going on? You're on your own, isn't it?
The attentive management team, we're all so diverse. We always learn off each other, like different things. Like Harry knows things that I don't know. I may know some things that Ali don't know, you know what I mean? We're all here, like, help benefit one another, you know what I mean?
Do you know what it is? It's seen at school, what they teach you is, if you do an assignment, if you're doing whatever, if you're doing work, they tell you no talking, focus on your own paper, to exam, whatever it is, to focus on your own paper, do it yourself. But that's not how the world works. I mean, I understand it makes sense. They want to know what your capabilities are, but then still, if that's all the work you're doing, then that's just your mindset's going to be to life. Stick on your own thing. Like, don't let no one in your work.
Elon Musk never like magpied off other people's ideas. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Sat, one of them, I'm gonna challenge what you just said, innit?
Challenge.
Don't like what you just said about don't forget about the people that you come up with. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be real. It's one of them ones. Yeah. Sometimes your vision, nobody can see that, and even the people closest to you, yeah, will tell you that you're crazy and that this is never gonna work. If it was gonna work, then it would have happened for this guy. It would have happened for him. This guy's got a degree. This guy's got more experience than you. And then in your head, yeah, you start listening to the naysayers, and then the people you come up with, yeah, when they see you doing everything they told you was not possible, yeah, they start to get envious. They start to get jealous. They start to think in their head without even realizing, this guy thinks he's better than me. Because why you think a lot of shotters get robbed, yeah, by their own circle of friends when they start to get big? Their line starts popping.
They wanna
Next thing you know, that some people, they don't want to work hard to build up. Let's say for instance, because we seem to be on the topic of drugs, innit? So like, let's say for instance, someone grafts night and day, builds a banging line. Why do people think, I'm going to go rob him?
They're jealous.
Because they're jealous. They're thinking, this guy thinks he's better than me. This guy put in... They don't want to take into consideration this guy worked hard to get it like that. They don't want to put the work in. It's the same with people in, because it correlates with the 6 human needs. Do you know where I'm coming from? It's human nature. Now people say you man start blowing up, yeah. The people that you grew up with, yeah, they're gonna start hating without even realizing. Do you understand where I'm coming from? And then you're gonna start warming towards the. Listen, understand the famous quote. Your clients will become your friends quicker than your friends will become your clients. Your friends will see you as, no, I ain't gonna get you to plan my events. Like, this might not happen, but there's a strong possibility your close friends might be like, I ain't getting you to plan my events, or they might be like, oh yeah, let me get mates rates. So I'm coming from. Never ever rate a friend that wants mates rates, because they don't support your hustle. They don't support your hard work. Get where I'm coming from. Do you understand?
All the same, as a person, if you're at that point, that person in life, you should know who is a real one. You should have, from however long you know them, you should be observing them, knowing how real they are. If they're that type to do that, I mean, you can tell a lot about a person just by watching them. Not just use your eyes. Some people, it's not their eyes that are bound by their hearts. That they don't see with their eyes. They listen to what other people tell them. They listen to for example, the media tells them to think about. They don't use their brains. If you use your brain and you watch people and you actually observe, you hear little things. You might hear a subliminal message. You think, all right, this person's not right. You start distancing yourself. You hear, you know what, the subliminal message in a good way. This person's right. I'm gonna bring him closer. So, I mean, as a person, you've got to build your own mental capabilities to understand people. If you're trying to make it big, you got to know how to read people and actually understand people, not just at face value. Because the eyes say what the mouth doesn't. So you got to learn how to read.
It's about sometimes becoming self-educated. Yeah, like when you want to learn all these little traits, yeah, you don't need a psychology degree. Like you can go on YouTube and find out all of this stuff. Do you know where I'm coming from? Sometimes if you got a tight friend, like even try it out on your people, yeah. Tell them something bad about you. Tell them something you're feeling down about, yeah. Or tell them something negative, like how something went wrong. And you can already read by their body language or by what they say, innit? Just listen for that moment. If they start agreeing with you, yeah, then you know that they're subconsciously wanting you to fail. Sometimes that's the case. Whereas if you tell them something good, yeah, if they ain't gassed as you, like tell them, oh, this happened today, like if they're not like, yes, come on, that's hard, like then you know that they could be subconscious if you can't.
People want to see you on your back than on your feet. That's why, like, say, like, you ever heard the quote, more people will be at your funeral than they will at your wedding day, you know what I mean? They'd rather see you on your worst day than your best day.
Like, no one wants to be part of the come up.
Yeah, people really be in a club or a party with 100 people, but how many people's at your court day? How many people?
Literally.
How exactly?
But, well, easy. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
17, 27. In 10 years,
where would you want to be?
I'll round it to 13 by the age of 30, just so it's a nice round number. So by the time I'm 30, my aspirations, I want to retire within my early 30s with generational wealth. I'd say 35 my latest, but I'm not gonna limit myself. So 30 if I can, 35 hopefully latest. In my 30s, I want to retire myself with generational wealth, because I don't agree working a job for someone else's dream for the rest of your life, retiring at 65, whatever the retiration age is, retiring at that age, and then you can enjoy it. But what can you enjoy? You've been working for someone else, yeah, lifting heavy boxes, whatever you've been doing, your back's hurting, you're old, you can't travel, you can't do none of that. So that's what I'm saying. I want to put in listen to this, I want to put in as much work, as much effort as I can now, so I won't be 40 regretting it, wishing I did more in my teens. I don't want to be like my peers, people that's my age, most of them. Like right now, what day is it right now?
Saturday.
It's Saturday. It's a Saturday night. Yeah, we could all be out partying. We could be drinking, smoking, whatever. We could be outside doing that right now, and we're choosing to be here. Why? Because we've got our heads screwed on straight. Because we all, as a group, we've come together. We've realized that if we put in all the effort now, everything that we want to do, get it done now while we're young. We have the capabilities and the drive and the energy to actually do it. And we start young, and then by the time we're older, we'll just be chilling. Then we can chill. Why chill now when they work later? Exactly that.
Backwards, they work on they'll have fun when they can while they're young and stuff like that. When they ain't got money, go out drinking, spending the money that they haven't even got yet. Why do that when you can build permanent stability for yourself, miss out on a bit of temporary fun, and then have the fun when you're older, like when you've actually got the money to go do it. And then you ain't got to worry about, I ain't got money in my pocket, because you'll have a constant income. Say you start up a business or something. That's why I wanted to start up my own business, because I'll always have a constant income in the future, especially for when I retire. I'll still have money in my pocket to go do things I want.
A piece of advice I'll give for anyone listening, everyone here, just to recap, always look out for your future self, whether it's in a very short term or whether it's in a long term. Look out for your future self. Say, for example, you're chilling, it's the morning, you say it's a Sunday morning, you got nothing, haven't got much to do all day, yeah, you're thinking, I'll clean my room, I'll do it tonight. And then tonight, your tonight itself is going to hate you. Think, I should have done it in the morning. So why not do it in the morning? And then tonight you'll be chilling, all right? Even bigger scale than that in the future. If you're thinking the same that we were just talking about a minute ago, do all the work that you can now. Save your money. Invest it. And then in the future, you won't be regretting it. Wish you did more in your teens instead of partying, instead of taking drugs, whatever you're doing. Always look out for your future self. Whether you're in... I've said this to a few of my friends that have been in toxic relationships. I tell them, they're telling me it's hard to let go. I just keep going back. I tell them, if you don't deal with that pain of leaving that person now, and then if you stay with them, it will be even harder the longer you stay with them, because then you'll be even more attached. So if you cut off that toxic relationship now, it will hurt. It will hurt. You're gonna cry. You're gonna feel numb. But that's called the healing process. Once you make that decision, that you feel like you're at your lowest, that's when the healing process starts, and then you build yourself back up. But then by the time you could have taken all that time to heal, and now if you didn't date that step and now you're still with him and then you broke up with him, look at the time frame now. So by the time you've made the decision, break up with him, heal. And then you didn't, you stayed with him, stayed through that's still upsetting, still a little bit peace of mind because you're still with him. And then you broke up, it will be even longer than the first time. Always look out for your future self, no matter how big, small the task is, whatever the situation is, you will thank yourself. Your tomorrow self will thank yourself today.
A lot of people go off the narrative from like party when you're young, work when you're older. But it's like if you work, like you can work harder when you're younger, you got more energy, you got more like time in you, do you know what I mean? You got more energy in you, so work as hard as you can when you're young. So you got a like promising future, a better future. So I feel like we've been programmed this way. If I'm honest, no, we're not machines, no, but programmed as in our minds. What's going on in our minds? So when you go to school, when you was young, yeah, say. When you was young, you went into, before you went to, say, secondary school, for example, even primary school, wherever, you went in, you were the bubbliest, happiest person. Obviously, you're still young, you're a kid in it, but bubbly. And then I feel like you have your bubble of your thoughts. And then I feel like when you come out of school, it's cut into a box. You think what you've been taught. Because what we all know is when you're young,
that's your main stages of learning that will set you up for your life. If you've seen good things when you're young, you've seen a lot of positivity when you're young, even if you experience bad things in the future, you still had that good childhood, you've had that good upbringing that will set you up for the future. But if it was the opposite and you've seen bad things, or you've been taught bad things, or whatever it is, whatever you've been taught when you're young, your most crucial learnings, your own learning stage, basically, or the most crucial one even, that's what's going to affect you for the rest of your life. So if you go into school and if they're teaching you specific things about specific things, for the rest of your life, you're just going to think that's correct, and you won't even know where you got the thought from. If the thought has been given to you before, when you was in that mental state of taking in, not putting out, when you was taking everything in, and you was young, you was taking it all in, then that will set you up for life. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? It builds your mindset.
Another thing I think about the education system as well, like, obviously, like I said, it didn't work out for me. I was kicked out of school, went to a pupil referral unit and stuff like that. I've never once been taught at school, one lesson that I've been in, oh yeah, work for yourself, start your own company, do this. I've never been told that. It's always to work for someone else to earn your money. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, go. Yeah, it's good being a paramedic and that. I respect all paramedics and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're working for like a company. You're not working for yourself. You know what I mean? You work for the NHS, obviously, but like, you're not making yourself, I don't know how to put it, like, established, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like when people want to work for themselves, it's like, I done a lot of construction work until I thought, you know what, the hardest thing when you become an adult, yeah, because obviously I'm a lot older than you, man, the hardest thing when you become an adult is to take that leap to what you want to do. A lot of people got dreams, aspirations and whatnot, what they want to achieve in life, but to put a dream, yeah, or a goal, yeah, without a plan, it's just a dream. You know where I'm coming from? You ain't gonna get it if you don't put a plan together and execute it. Yeah, I put together this workshop. Once I started the movement, yeah, like I think one of you asked me a question earlier, like, why did I start it? See, when I did decide to start it, yeah, because of my history, I got told no. By every door was shut in my face. You know, I was there like, yeah, because I didn't take no for an answer. So whenever anybody says to you, yeah, you can't achieve something, yeah, just let that drive you. Channel that energy in such a motivational way, yeah, but motivate yourself. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Perry, what's that thing you've been saying from the day I met you to me, to every single person that you met? What's that thing you've been saying?
What do you mean?
Believe in the process. Watch this space. Every time you hear this guy, you're every time, whether it's good, whether it's bad, yeah, the only thing he will say, whether it's good or whether it's bad, is believe in the process. Just watch this. Just watch this. And I started saying that to my whole everyone. I've extended it. I started saying that to everyone. I said believe in the process.
It's a ripple effect.
Exactly.
Listen, if you believe in the process and you put work in, yeah, remember, yeah, you can be talented at something, but talent only lasts so long. Hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. Yeah, like I said before, yeah, you can't be annoyed at results that you did not get from the work that you didn't put in. I asked someone the other day, yeah, at the youth club. I asked someone, I said, listen, when's your GCSE results? He said, they're coming in August. I said, how you feeling about them? He goes, not too good. I was like, why not? He was like, I'm not going to do well. I'm slightly wounded, innit? I'm wounded. I said, why are you wounded for? Like, you didn't put in the work. Do you know where I'm coming from? What have you got to be wounded about? If anything, you should be annoyed at yourself. You never respected yourself enough to put in the work.
Set yourself up for failure, like
exactly that, man. Exactly. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, innit? So like, it comes to one of them ones here. If you want something, why do you want it? Let me give you an example, yeah. So I put together this workshop called Find a Click. You know, when a lot of people say, yeah, it took me 10 years to stop smoking, or it took me years to go on a diet. Like, I've always been a smoker, or like, I've always been this way, I'm just big boned. It's just like, when did you tell yourself that story? When did that become your reality? Do you know where I'm coming from? If you tell yourself that, yeah, inside your mind, yeah, psychologically, you're telling yourself, yeah, it's always going to be like this. So,
it's like that thing.
Manifesting.
It's like that thing. If you give yourself 30 days to clean your room, it will take you 30 days. If you give yourself 30 minutes to clean your room, it will take you 30 minutes. Exactly that.
Exactly that is exactly what you just said, yeah, is very, very true. Because have you noticed, yeah, let me give you an example. Have you noticed say people live paycheck to paycheck, yeah? but then say something happens where something breaks or someone gets ill and then they need treatment, all of a sudden they just find a way to make more money because they need to. Do you know where I'm coming from?
If you're that desperate, you'll make it happen.
Exactly. So people need to be desperate more than like 97% of the world work for the other 3% that didn't quit.
Do you ever hear a drug addict go, I ain't got money for drugs today. I'm not
No.
gonna smoke." They always get up and
Don't get out hustle by a crack.
No,
crackhead.
addicts, they
Don't
make
get
it
out
happen.
hustle
Do you know what I'm
only
coming from?
crackhead. Exactly that.
Like that's why I say to myself when I'm sorry to cut in, but when I say to myself, I talk to my mum about the attentive management thing. She's like, "Oh, but do you have a backup plan? What if it don't work?" I'm not giving myself an opportunity. Failure isn't an option because then if I've got a backup plan, I'm not going to put as much effort into the business as I possibly can. Why should I have a back? Obviously, I'm not. Like, Mum, you're just looking out for me, obviously. Thank you. But failure isn't an option. Why? If I've got a backup plan, I'm not putting 100% into this because I might be putting 80% into this, but 20% is going into the backup plan. Failure isn't an option for me. Why would I want to set myself up for failure? Failure is not an option.
So it's right. Let me reword that for you. Yeah? Failure is an option.
Yeah.
You need to want to fail because when you fail, you learn. Yeah, and listen, when you don't listen, if you win, what do you learn? Nothing, because you won. You win again, what do you learn? If you keep winning, yeah, when the one day comes and you fail and someone says, no, you're not good enough, you're gonna be like, what? You need to keep winning. You need to keep being ready to fail. When you're ready to fail, yeah, you're ready to win. Ask every successful person. Every successful person has failed thousands of times. Look at who's the guy who made the light bulb? What is it? Thomas Edison. He failed to make the light bulb thousands of times. I think it was over 1,000 times.
He was determined.
Yeah, but like someone said to him, why didn't you just quit? Imagine you do something 500 times and you got the same. Listen, the way you got to look at it, yeah, like the RPM method, yeah, you got the results, you got the why, and you got the map, yeah. What results do you want? And then why do you want them? How is it going to make you feel when you get them? What kind of a person do you need to become to achieve them? Yeah. What are people going to think of you when you become that person who has achieved that result? How are you going to feel about yourself? Yeah. And then the map, that's the how. Yeah. The massive action plan. Yeah. That's what you put together. The massive action plan. So say you got us now, yeah. And then we've all got an end goal, yeah. The journey to the end goal can change. Say you plan A, plan B, plan C. I guarantee you, yeah, if you try to do something once, you're going to fail miserably. You got to be ready to fail. You do that 20 times and you still fail on the 20th time. I guarantee you fail 20 times better than you failed the first time. Real talk. So you know, yeah, you're one more try away from success. Do you know where I'm coming from? 100%.
So what Harry was saying, I feel like what he was saying, I thought he was trying to say is like plan A will work.
Yeah.
There's no plan B for this because attentive management will work.
Yeah.
But there will be failure. There will be failure in everything. That's how you learn. And that's
Even
how
up till now, we've made wrong decisions in it, but we've learned from it and made it stronger.
I feel like we're in control of how much failure there is. Like we could feel like one little thing, we put too many fizzy drinks at an event, not enough water or juices, and then we determine how, if you're going to carry on doing that or if we switch it with whatever. Do you get what I mean? That's a very bad example, but get what I mean? Or like, we choose how big the failure is. If something's going to be small, we cut it off straight out or we carry on. Then that's the failure. That was the mistake that we learned from. Not to put that much fizzy drinks or that much juice or sugary things, yeah? Or maybe there wasn't vegan food, whatever it is. But that was the mistake that we learned from. Or the mistake could be we forgot the presentation, we forgot the scene, we forgot the structure. So then the whole event is gone bad. So that's what I'm saying. We choose how big the failure is, and we cut it off when we cut
Literally,
it off.
and then when you come back to the next event, it's not going to happen again because we've already just figured out what we done wrong, what our pros was, what our cons was. Like, you got to fail in order to actually succeed. You know what I mean?
100%. It's like, you see like very successful people in life, yeah? They're very meticulous. Yeah, I think that's the word. They're very meticulous. Their attention to detail is 10-10. Like, it's not like they just have a to-do list. It's not like they just plan something. They plan it down to a T. So say you've got a to-do list. Your to-do list has got a to-do list, and then there's literally say you've got an end goal, yeah. So say plan A is your end goal, yeah. The plan can change. The plan can always change, yeah. But your how, yeah. Your massive action plan, it must like it can change, but the end goal must remain. And don't focus on the end goal. Say your end goal for 10 years, yeah, don't look at that. Look at the behavior pattern you need to adapt in order to achieve that. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Because that's what's going to make the difference. The small things. Do you know where I'm coming from? If you want your house to be spotless, you're not going to just be able to go and it's done bit by bit. Do you know where I'm coming from? You've seen the, what's it called, yeah? You've seen the meme, yeah? Where if you take small steps, where you got the guy that's climbing into the clouds here, climbing up, yeah? And the bits on the ladder, yeah, are like easily grabbable, yeah, and then you got the other guy that's just standing up like this because he's set his step exactly. Small steps. It's the small things that make the big picture. Do you know where I'm coming from?
100%.
Do you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I feel like
What is
No, go on.
I feel like it's like the stepping stones. Like you learn more to them. Like if you just skip all of this, like if you just skip and like go straight to being successful, like it's like the come up and what you go through, like you learn. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. A lot of people say, yeah, when people win, some people win the lottery, yeah, and they win millions. Yeah, some people win the lottery, yeah, and win millions, and somehow end up working now. And but like a few years later, they end up working.
If you've never handled that much money before, you're not going to know what to do with
Yeah,
it. You've got to go through that
I'll use an
process.
example. I'm sure everyone here has heard of that guy. That he was a bin driver. He won an £8 million lottery, and then £10 million lottery, and then 8 years later he was a bin man again. Because what he probably went to school, secondary school. I don't know if he went to uni, wherever he went to, but at least went legally. You still have to at least go to secondary school, even if you got kids. How he went, he was still in education. Okay, so in school, I'll ask everyone here. Did they teach us financial literacy? Did they teach us how to do taxes? No. Did they teach us how to manage money, how to invest money, not putting it in a savings accounts where inflation eats it up every year? Did they teach us about the S&P 500? Did they teach us about index funds, crypto, stock markets? Did they teach us about any of this stuff?
Like school, yeah. Have you ever seen that video where they put the bunch of fleas in a jar and they put the lid over the top of it, and all the fleas, they used to be able to jump higher before that and stuff like, say when you go into, say you're in primary school and that, all your ambitions set high, you know what I mean? Then you get into secondary school, further you get through it, you just want to end, you know what I mean? Everyone's at that same point at the end. They just want to do that with their life. Like, a lot of people, like, how they see it, I just want a wife, a kid and a house, you know what I mean? Nah, you shouldn't just aim for that. You should be aiming for 10 houses, you know what I mean? Like, have your family and stuff. Be able to take them on them luxurious holidays whenever you want. What, 2 holidays a year? It's nothing, you know what I mean?
You know, it is, some people... You got to understand why. Some people, maybe they come from a war-torn country. Maybe they come from the same story as us, and they still want that. They just want stability. Maybe they don't want to take risks. You can't blame them for that.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe they just want the stability. They just want a nice little house out of the way. They just want a stable job to feed their family, put food on the table, have a wife, have kids, whatever. Maybe that's just what they want. I don't blame them for that. You know
It's
what
the
I mean?
pursuit to happiness.
Exactly.
What's your everybody's definition of happiness is different. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Yeah. So it's just like I remember one girl said that she broke up with her boyfriend because he wanted perfection. I said, listen, I understand one thing. There is no such thing as perfection. I remember I said it. I said, there's no such thing as perfection because everybody's perception of perfection is different. Yeah. And I used to get mocked at work for saying that. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good quote.
No, it's so true.
Yeah, like it's true because listen, yeah, like some people are happy with just having a wife, having a house that they've got a mortgage for, having kids, and just going on one holiday. Some people, that's like amazing for them. Like they've made it. Do you know where I'm coming from? You got people that are multi-millionaires, yeah, that are depressed and don't want to be here. Yeah. But then you got people that ain't got no money at all, yeah, but they're living happy, they're fulfilled. Yeah. When that's what it is. It's not about some people's idea of success here is like, money and whatnot. The people that have got all the money here, sometimes they just want the small life.
Literally.
Less stress. These multi-millionaires and whatnot, these very successful people, a lot of them are going through the motions, a lot of stress. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Going back to what I said earlier, I feel like I do want to touch on it a bit. Like, obviously, we're young entrepreneurs. We do want to do everything that we can now so we can have a comfortable future. But I feel like I didn't mention that we do have to have a balance. We do take, I know everyone here has a day that they take off from everything that they're doing to spend time with their family, their kids, their friends, whatever, just so they can. That's what I'm saying with the millionaires that you're talking about. They probably didn't have none of it. They probably thought they were starting off right here, forget everything else, forget family, and then I'll be successful, and then I'll
Gotta have a balance. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
You gotta have the balance, but then maybe they didn't have the balance, and that's why they're rich and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They sold their soul for a pot of gold. They sold their morals. They let their family, their sense of community just go out of the window.
But you've got, they don't go over like the perception of things. Like I think one of the reasons why I'm happy now is because I can work hard for my money, get the money, feel like, get that dopamine rush, I've just earned this money, look at it, I'm going to save it, or buy whatever. These people that are minted rich don't have to worry about none of that. They go out and buy something, they don't feel anything from that. They've worked hard and whatever, but like they've built up their millions, they've got up to the top. They buy this Louis bag, what, $3,000? That's nothing. They get nothing from that, because money for them, they've just sold their business. They're sitting around doing nothing now. Like, what happens when they're not working? So they're happily married. Yeah, his wife leaves and takes half of the money, half the kids, half of whatever. What's he gonna do now? He's sitting in his mansion, in his 10-bed mansion, on his own, surrounded by money that he can't spend on. He's not. Well, who can he spend it on? His wife, his kids. His wife's got them. She's left. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to understand what happens when you become fully rich. You've got to understand this from a young age, because obviously I'm sure when we was younger we were like, yeah, I want to be rich, I want to have a wife and kids. It doesn't always work out like that.
You're still young. You still got more learning. A lot more learning. Take it from the old man at the table. You got a lot more learning to do, man. Trust me, man. You man ain't even allowed to drink. Like,
Can I ask the question?
trust me, man. You got
Off topic.
still got to have the mindsets that you've got, yeah, and to have this way of thinking is like a miracle, because not a lot of kids have that.
I've got. God, there's
Did you see the video of it was Tyson Fury? He was like he's like the richest man. He's the best at boxing. He has a family, mansions, everything. But he was depressed. He was sad. Like, he didn't want to be alive. And he's saying he was happier when he was dead broke, with no money. He was happier. Like,
yeah, Mike Tyson said the other Tyson. Mike Tyson said the same
like,
thing.
money don't buy happiness.
No. Yeah, he said when he lost everything, everyone was asking him, "Are you alright?" He was saying, "I'm happy than I've ever been."
I'm at peace.
I'm at peace because no one's trying to take anything from me anymore.
I've got nothing for people to take, innit?
Exactly. But another thing I want to touch on is a question. I want to hear everyone interested in hearing everyone's opinions, because I'm sure everyone here follows them millionaire mindset things on Instagram, all the business pages on Instagram, and then they say like the rules to do, and one of them is always, no matter what, they always say don't do business with friends or family. And obviously we're all friends here, apart from colleagues. Obviously we met from work, and now we're actually friends. Like, we're actually friends, innit? So I want to hear, what's your topic? How comes we didn't all start individual businesses with strangers? How comes we started? I want to hear your opinions, innit?
Of course, I feel like obviously that aspect is true, yeah. But I think you look at the Rothschilds, innit? They're the most successful, probably one of the most successful families. They own all the banking industry and stuff. Do you know how they started? There were five. I think it was like 4 different brothers. One of them owned a bank, like the main central bank in America, and then they all thought, right, we need to split up, go out. Well, one of us is an established banker. We need to go out, set our name, and that's how they got across. You know what I mean? Obviously, I feel like family and friends would be important. Would be important because you got that bond with them. You know what I mean? Like, you know what they're good at and what their what their pros and weaknesses is, if that makes sense. But
Ali was gonna say,
like, even though we can make that separation from friends and business partners, we're all like-minded people, and we all have similar reasons why we want to be rich. Like, everyone wants to be rich, but we have a reason to be rich to help other people. That's our aim. That's what we feel like.
Exactly that. My opinion is basically similar to what these two said. Is we know how we all work. I know how Tanner works. I know how Harry works. I know how Jack. I know how Ali. I know how Ford works. So and same the other way around. We all know how we all work. So we know what task to give what person, who's going to be the best at one thing, who's not going to be the strongest. So then we make sure we accordingly. And further than that, obviously, I know everyone. Obviously, I do agree to an extent that business isn't built on trust. But there needs to be a level of trust. Like, I could trust Ali to carry out a task. He can trust me to carry out a task. Same with everyone here. Like, we can trust each other. And we know, I feel like the bond that we have is to the point where if something went wrong in the bit, like, we wouldn't try and do each other dirty with the fine print, or however, where would these things happen in business where they try to mess each other up with a fine print, or they just do them dirty and cut them out, do a fake contract or not even give a contract or whatever, deception. For like, we all trust each other not to do that. Do you get what I mean?
One way that I also see it as well, like, think, like, I know this is totally random, yeah, but think of like, right, let's think of FIFA, yeah? Like, you may be able to get like the best players like Messi, Ronaldo, all this and that, and put them on the team, but they have no connection. They don't know, like, you know, what's it? Yeah, they have no chemistry. You know what I mean? Together, they don't work together. They don't like. That's what you need in a workplace, really. Chemistry. Know what the person's like, what they're like best at, and what they're not really.
Do you know what it is? Oh, sorry.
Go on.
Do you know what it is? Because we've all been through the same sort of like similar. Because we've been all. What's it? We've all been through similar backgrounds and stuff like that. We've all got, even though we're not, well, I consider everyone here to be a part of my family, be my, it's not blood related, yeah, but all to be a part of my family, because we've all come up on the same stuff. We've all got the same job. We all work similarly. Obviously, everyone's different in it, but we all work similarly. And I remember I was working a few weeks ago, and then all of a sudden I got the news that one of my boys died. And I remember the first person I went to wasn't my family. It wasn't any of them. Is I called up, you know, Alfie that worked with us. Yeah. I called up Alfie because I know that he's been through similar stuff. Then I think I was working with Ali the day it happened. I told Ali, I told Tanner, and it was all. Do you know, it's so comforting to know that you can work with people and talk with people that aren't your family because you've been through similar stuff. If I told my family something like that, they wouldn't know what to do with it because they've not been through what I've been through. Do you know what I mean? So that's why it's like, it's good. I agree with it. Back to the don't do business with family thing. I agree. The business with family thing, it can get a bit messy because you think, oh, that's my brother, I'll let him off. But when you're friends, we've all got each other. Yeah, if
we all tell each other straight up,
innit? You know when I'm working and I'm messing about or whatever.
Yeah,
you will
tell me straight up.
We'll have a go, you'll do what, swear, shout, whatever at me. I'm working 30 seconds later, a minute later.
Don't make me sound like a bad guy.
No, chap. One thing I will say, yeah, is when you do work together, yeah, like, understand your strengths, understand your positions,
yeah,
like, big each other up, pick each other up, and big each other up.
Like, I know, like,
always, like, have each other's back to a point where, like,
always talk,
motivate each other. You see what I was saying earlier, yeah? People are either gonna bring you down when you're down, or they're gonna bring you up when you're up, and they're gonna bring you up when you're down as well. Do you know where I'm coming from? Yeah. So that's the energy you need to have with each other. It needs to be a brotherhood. You need to, like, people say about family and this and that, and blood is thicker than water and whatnot. Yeah, that's nonsense.
We were talking about it.
I got water thicker than blood.
It's like, listen, on my arm here, yeah, on my arm there, yeah. Do you know what it says?
Flexing. No, with the camera.
No. It says, what's it called, yeah? It says, blood makes you a relative, but it's Louis that makes you family, innit?
He's got a classic geezer tag. He's got a loyalty on the arm. He's a proper geezer.
Don't really punch this guy, though. But it's true, though, innit?
Can I say another?
Hey, listen. Hey, another thing about what's it called, quickly, yeah. Another thing that we're gonna touch on real quick, there is the fact that when you're working together, yeah, you're building a team, you're building an empire. You can't build an empire on your own. So therefore, you need to trust who you're working with. If you don't trust them, give them tasks, little jobs. Like, you see me, yeah. Before I met Uzi, I was a one-man army. Yeah, I could have never ever put together what I've got today, yeah, with just myself. Do you know where I'm coming from? I networked with Uzi networked with you guys. You guys work together.
Shout out to the back.
A lot of you guys weren't even on the same company. He was
literally
over.
Was all doing our own thing.
Literally, yeah. By doing this, yeah, I met with Jamie, and then boom, like, by doing all of this, I met with Stewart. I can't see him.
Big up Stewart on the order.
It proves like what we've got.
Come on.
Look.
That's like what we got to say. Like, at Attentive Management, we know people need people. That's why we're striving to bring all types of different people together from different backgrounds, different ethnicities. Doesn't matter how diverse like the group is. We know everyone has the potential to become successful, and that's why we started and established this actual company. You know what I mean?
Exactly that.
That's what I feel like. Building networks is one of the most important things for anyone.
Definitely.
Like, having that thing where I need someone for this, I'm gonna go call them. or just building different networks for different things, it brings a lot. And going back to the thing that you're saying with motivation, what recently I've been doing is understand people's characteristics. You got to understand their characteristics and how different people work. So let's say I'm working with Harry. I know a way how I know, like if I shout at him, let's say it's not going to work. Let's say you got to understand different characteristics to motivate them and actually help them and push them towards success as well.
Definitely.
100%. It's like, see, with the whole 21 Up movement, yeah, when I started, obviously I've known Uzi for a long time, and obviously now I've got multiple cameramen, multiple videographers and editors, yeah, sound engineers. I've got guys that want to be models, guys that want to be photographers, and I've got the resources and the
Shows the
equipment
power
to
of
do all
networking.
that. Exactly. It's the word of mouth and the power of networking. Networking is the most powerful thing you could ever do. Learn how to speak to people. Educate yourself on emotional intelligence. Educate yourself on the psychology. You don't need a degree to learn all of this stuff. You could be self-educated. And with the company that you've all started, yeah, boom, you can just educate yourself on the traits that are going to benefit you. Do you get what I'm coming from? Like Uzi, like the first time I met you, yeah, since then, like what's the 21 Up movement done for you? Like you've obviously seen the growth from the start.
Okay, let me cook. Okay, so since I met Perry Blake, this amazing man to my right, honestly, I'll say life has changed. I was literally thinking a minute ago that I've known him for a year. Wait, did we meet in April or March last year?
Say 11 months.
No, it was March. It was March,
yeah.
Yeah, but I've known him for a year. I swear down. Time has flown. What we'll say, 21 Up, Perry Blake specifically. Perry Blake, he's done a lot for me. He's built me a man. Say he's literally my mentor. I should be paid. Like literally, he is my mentor. Like if I messing up or if I need to talk about anything, I will shout. I will call him up, and there's no way he won't answer my phone.
100%. I remember on my first time that I come through, Uzi invited me round to the studio session that you pay for. And I remember as soon as I stepped in, like you introduced yourself to me, you bought us all food and stuff. And one of the first things you asked me was what I actually want to do with myself, what you can do to help me actually get there. Well, I told you when I was growing up, I always wanted to do dentistry and things like that. You went and started networking with a dentist for me. Obviously, I didn't get into it. I didn't have the qualifications and that, but you still went and made it, went out your way to go make it happen. You know what I mean? It's a lot of love there. You know, I mean, big up.
You know what it is? You know, he's appreciative. He'll tell you
100%.
when he sees little things that you do right, he'll tell you like, I like the fact that you did it. He'll point it out, like, I like the fact that you do this, and I love that, and it makes you feel good about yourself. Right? He's an uplifting guy at it. I know he did not force. I can't. He gave me £50 save. Nah, I'm joking. But honestly,
Guys, it's all scripted. We've been penned to say all this, yeah.
There's a screen right there. I'm reading off of. Nah, but on a serious level, he's brought a lot of opportunities for me. Like I've had a lot of people I've met through him, a lot of networks I've made, a lot of places I've been, a lot of things I've done, a lot of uplifting that I've done. Ooh, just through this guy, just was one guy here.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
What did it feel like? Yeah, you guys went to breakfast.
So I walked in, yeah, and I felt like a businessman from Canary Wharf, you know.
No.
We done the pitch to everyone. They all give us a round of applause. They're like, never expected the young people to actually come through, like get up this early and actually show this much energy. I felt so good in myself. I've never felt like that. I'll just start blushing right now, innit?
Waking up at 4 a.m, and when we mention that to people, they look surprised. When we walked in that room, they look surprised. They see young people doing something good because they think young people around this era are not doing anything good, and it just made me feel better as a person. It made me actually realize. After that day, I sat down to myself. I was thinking for about half an hour. I was like, I can do whatever I put my mind to. I can do whatever I want to do.
You know it is, yeah. When I feel like all of us that went to the networking event, yeah, feels the same. When we walked into that room, we felt like aliens, but we felt like we did not belong there. I swear down, yeah, we walked in, like, I remember we kind of looking at each other. You want a coffee there? Go over there. I swear.
I felt so out of place. I walked in, I turned to Uzi, I was like, yeah, like, you go make the first move, and then me and Uzi have like walked over to the drinks, we got a drink, and I'm just standing there looking at everyone. And I'm like trying to get into a conversation. I'll make eye contact with someone. I hear them stop speaking for a sec. I'll be like, and then they'll start speaking. I'll be like waiting for.
Do you know what it is?
First beam, start panicking.
It helped us build, didn't it? I feel like we can all agree it helped us build. We went in there, we felt out of place because there was a lot of people that was there. Obviously, lovely people but people that we wouldn't usually talk to in our day-to-day life. They wouldn't usually have conversations with us on a day-to-day life, and we had the opportunity to go there, actually talk to them, shake a lot of hands of people that I would never usually actually ever speak to in my life, and then network with them, got their business cards, gave our emails, got our website, everything. And now what? Now then people we're in contact with email, we're building business relationships. Hopefully we have them at our events. Hopefully we're not gonna say too much, no one's stealing ideas, but it's all coming, innit?
One more thing, everyone, get ready for our events coming very soon.
Check out our website.
Check out the website, attentivemanagement.co.uk. It'll be highly appreciated.
What's our Instagram, Ali? What's our
That camera's still on.
So our Twitter.
Man, they're talking into the camera like it's.
so our Instagram is Attentive Management. Our Twitter is attentive_EM, and our TikTok is Attentive Management.
On the
Yeah,
website,
big things to
just
come.
scroll
I
down
appreciate
all the way to the
everyone
bottom,
that goes and has a look at that. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no.
So if you want to go on.
I was just saying on the website, don't scroll all the way down to the bottom.
It's not.
Alistair, could you read out our business number real quick?
A business number.
Our business phone number.
Let me get it out. I should have it on.
Should have it memorized.
Sorry guys, how unprofessional by me.
See, when I said to you, man, that dress smart,
Yeah.
wear suits. What was you thinking? What was the first thought?
I was on it. You know what I mean? I feel
that whole thought on this for ages.
You see me, I'm wearing a suit every day now.
I feel fly. I feel fly. Like,
Our business phone number, Attentive Management, is +44 7523 701101. I'm gonna say that again for the people that had to grab a pen and paper. +44 7523 701101.
and one more time for the website, www.attentivemanagement.co.uk.
Shut up. Yeah, I know.
Did I say only two? I meant to say three and then 3W. Let me restart. Reload that.
On a serious level, shout out to the 21 Up movement. Shout out to Attentive Management. Shout out to Perry Blake. Shout out to Jamie. Shout out to Stewart. Shout out to
Yeah,
Alice.
thank you for this opportunity as well.
Harry.
Thank you for the
and
opportunity.
Nolan. All tributes to Nolan that is not here.
Big
right
up
now.
Nolan. Nolan sacrificed today for us. We would not be here right now if it was not for Nolan. So Nolan, you know that's love, innit? You know that's love, Nolan.
Everyone, Nolan.
Come on, Nolan. You know that's love. Come on, Nolan.
Nolan, we're missing you.
Shout out Nolan. Shout out Nolan.
Shout out Nolan right now.
Nolan, we left now. Get a bit. I don't want to leave now.
Can I say one thing? In this world, there's not many people that actually genuinely care about you and actually care about benefiting you. That's one thing that I appreciate a lot for. Actually care about people and you want to benefit them.
100%.
Can I say something? Add into that. At the first video shoot that we did, everyone there apart from you and the cameraman was people that I brought. Yeah, they've never met you. I met you before. We was talking, so I knew you a bit better. But everyone there else didn't know you. They met you for the first time. So obviously everyone had a great time with the music video. And at the end, obviously when you was telling everyone, you got everyone together and you was telling them off camera, like with cameraman was packing them, we was telling everyone that any opportunity that you want, wherever your aspirations, what your dreams are, to tell you, Perry Blake, and then you'll sort it for them. And obviously they're my mates, so they was telling me after you said it, just like, nah, he's lying, like, but he's talking because he's excited about his music video. And exactly, they were telling me you're just talking, like you're probably just excited, he's just saying it. But then I know not a single person that was there has that same mindset. Everyone knows what he's about now, bro. Because I'll say, how many of them people there? Most of them you give opportunities to. You're giving them. I'm not even gonna name drop. But you're giving certain people modeling things, certain people music videos, everyone's studio time, and like whatever they're interested in, you've done it. You've sorted it for them. You know what I mean? So like I feel like everyone had a sense of doubt for a second. Like, nah, he's probably just saying that because we're also used to being let down. I don't blame him because a lot of people just let us down in life. That people talk a big game and then they let us down, but Perry is gone, bro. This guy stays up till like sometimes late hours in the morning, and he has to wake up at 5 still just to get things done. He's up doing exactly. He gets it done. He's a go getter. If his trains in,
He's blushing.
It's the type of guy to have one seed and try to grow a whole garden. Like if he sees
I like that.
Like, can I just say one more thing as well? Like, it's completely off subject, isn't it? But I was like to say, if we didn't all get off the things that we was doing before, we wouldn't be doing this thing right now. Like, if we didn't think what we was doing before was wrong, we wouldn't be here right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've had a handful of mates stabbed, obviously a handful of mates are dead. Imagine if I didn't stop when all this started happening. Do you think we'd be doing this thing right now? Do you think I'd be in a suit and tie, feeling like a mafia boss in my chair, speaking into the microphone? It wouldn't have happened.
100. Listen, guys, let's wrap up here.
Cool.
Yeah, we got 21 Up Movement alongside Attentive Management, looking to do some big things, going to do some big things real soon. Big boy collaborations. The way I see it, we got sound engineer Stewart behind us. We got our cameraman, digital mocker over there, Jamie. We got Attentive Management here, looking to plan some events. Real talk, man.
Yeah, again, thank you, Stewart and Jamie, for coming through. Thank you, Stewart, for the opportunity.
What's the 21 Up Movement website?
Yeah, shout out.
Real quick, the 21 Up Movement website.
www.21upmovement3.com.
Three W's, yeah. And thanks to Stewart.
It's been emotional.
What's the Instagram for 21 Up?
Have a guess. At 21upmovement.com. Listen, listen. Hey, it's so unique here. Nobody has it. Real talk. It's just the same. Every social media, all of that. Get on that. Real talk. You want opportunities? Come get your boy. I promise you.
100%. 100%.
Also, follow Philly on YouTube and Spotify.
A little plug in the end.
What we say, Stu? Good.
That come.
Yes, come on.
This podcast was recorded and brought to you by Mungalow Fish. Mungalow, where creativity makes a splash. Mungalow Fish.